I wonder what they're like.
From our viewpoint, Professor, they're either suprahuman or subhuman.
Hello out there in the YouTubeverse, it's Max, and I'm back with you once again, and we are going to do some Slay the Spire 2. That's right, get back right into it. I got A10 here queued up for the Silent, so let's see if we can overcome this A10 run here. So let's take a look at what we got for, let's draw that a little bit better. Mildly better. Alright, so taking a look at this map, what do we see? We know we have Ceremonial Beast up here. What do I like? What do we have for merchants? Decently late merchant here. I don't love the path to get there. It's a little daunting. And there's an early merchant or just a whole, like a hard pull fight into an event, into an elite. That looks kind of untenable. There's a merchant here we could try to run through. Yeah, hard pull monster after an elite, so that's not the best. None of these paths stand out to me as particularly enticing. That's so hard. But I don't know as though it gets a lot simpler any direction we go. Like, we could go this way. That's the second fight. This way just has 0 elites. What's 1 elite? Yeah, that seems untenable. This seems like the best path, even though it's very light on elites. Okay. So I think we're going to go this way. So we have the 150 gold, and that looks like it's going to be the best start for us. I do like the shears with the silent, because slimming down your deck can help you get the first couple card rewards a little bit quicker. So I think we're going to just go ahead and pick up the gold here. Where gold at? I want the gold. Okay. A little shrink-a-dink. We're just going to beat the crap out of him here. And we have a hand that sets us up to do that pretty well. Then we are shrunk, so we can survive our way and defend. And then strike, and that's definitely our best chances. So Weaken that, see what we got. Okay, should be able to kill on the next one. And we can. Alright. So, we do have 2 Sly cards. I do think that those tend to be some of the strongest cards. I think Sly is just a very broken mechanic. It's tough to say which one I like better. I think Ricochet generally I like better than Untouchable. So we could go that direction. We currently have 1 way to discard, which is the Survivor. I'm willing to spec on Ricochet. See if we can buy a Prepared or something here. We cannot. Dash is solid. Footwork is solid. Gamble is okay. It's a little early. Don't really need the Waffle right now. Definitely don't need that. Don't love any of the relics, honestly. This is tough. The Gamble seems like it may be one of our better cards if we're going to intend to Sly. But it's early to speculate that much. So it feels a little risky. Dash is just good early. It's good damage. It's good block. So maybe it's card remove, or Dash, Gamble, card remove, I think is the way we're going to go. It just lets us hedge. And I don't mind an attack potion as well to set us up for success. Means we will definitely want to avoid the second merchant. Heal 9 and then Sown. Oops. We could put that on something like Neutralize. So just when we play it, we get an extra energy, which is kind of nice. Heal 9, upgrade a card. I would think it'd be something like early Ricochet or calculated Gamble. So I think we'll go that route. Let's upgrade the Gamble so we just always have it if we need to discard. It just lets us guarantee we can Sly, which is nice for us. Okay. This will be a little bit more straightforward. With the perfect amount of block into a strike. So let's start by weakening. 5 is an easy. And we just hit, and pass. Let me take a look at these graphic settings real quick. See if that smooths it out a little bit for us. Okay, so we can just hit here. Do we want to gamble? Dash is 10 damage. We need 6, so we need 20. So even 3 strikes wouldn't do it. We'd have to, like, get back into, like, Survivor, Ricochet, Strike. But I think I'm willing to do it here. Close. Not worth blowing a potion over, I don't think, when we can just any attack will do it. Fantastic. Yeah, it smoothed it out a little bit better. My apologies. Up my sleeve is okay. Ricochet number 2 with the Gamble I think is probably where I want to be. Our damage output is pretty good. Heal 20 doesn't do anything for us, so I think we'll just go for this. We could probably do that one more time. I think we're good there. Alright, let's take on the elite. It's the only elite for the floor, and it's Burdonis. Start with a weak. I do think this is going to be an attack potion situation. Dash is pretty good for free. Seems better than the other two. I do like the weak, but we've already applied a weak, so being able to kind of solution our blocks and be able to just strike plus strike. It feels pretty strong. We want to get this this elite dead as quickly as possible. I think that's going to be our best damage output alongside defense. So we take 10 here, not a negligible amount. Okay, there's dash again. Survivor. And that'll do. Take 3 now. There's the dash again. We're okay with that. So we're looking to take 21 at the moment. I think I'm going to just eat 11 so that I can try to close this fight out in the next hand, especially with a calculated gamble. I should be able to find everything I need, and that should about wrap it up there with the ricochets. Cloak Clasp could be pretty good for us. Dagger Throw seems pretty important. I do really like Balancing Flask a lot, and an Untouchable would go a long way, but I think just increasing the ability to discard here is pretty good. We don't have a lot of fights coming up, so I'm going to Smith here, I think. Upgrade a Ricochet, so we can just keep increasing that damage output. Okay, low rolled an event, which is okay. Cloak Clasp, saving our butt. And we'll go ahead and do this. We want to try to maximize our damage output. And that'll do it. Alright. Nothing here I like a lot. Do we want to take anything at all is the question. Dodge and roll could be like beneficial. It's at least a, like if we're stuck with a defend in our hand, it's at least one that like we get something out of it next turn. Sucker Punch is decent when we're trying to heavy damage output. I don't love either. I think I'm going to skip for now. See what we get. Give us a good relic, please. Alright, Book of 5 Rings is pretty good. We already had to skip one. I'm not itching to skip others. Let's get that fire going. So now we're looking to go Event Monster event. Let's look at what we could upgrade. It'd likely be something like Dash at this point to try to get our block up. Yeah, I think Dash is going to be correct here. Okay, let's go to an event. Alright, I rolled that time. Alright. Monster Fight is a tougher monster. Not ridiculously hard, but tougher. Okay, let's weaken. Strike. And a Ricochet is about the best we can do. Cloak Clasp, of course, helping us out a little bit. Dash covering us for the bulk of the damage. Cloak Clasp coming in for a little bit more. Alright. I think this is... So we have Dagger Throw into discard Ricochet. We're total reshuffle, and we're looking for 17 block. We could, on the other hand, just calculate a gamble to try to find the block. I think that's probably what I'm more inclined to do. We do get to trigger the Ricochet. So we get to clear out the minion for now. $13, nothing from our Cloak Clasp. So we take 4. Alright. Can we kill? No. Do we want to use the Touch of Insanity to make this free? I don't think yet we do. And we can just full block, get rid of a couple dazed, and the Cloak Clasp again, helping us out a little bit there. Alright. This is not necessarily free, so, okay, it worked. Alright, accuracy, dodge and roll, and snake bite. We already passed on these two, and there's an accuracy here. I do want to get this Book of the 5 Rings going, because I want to heal. We can't heal enough to go into the elite and gain 20, but I would like to be able to start to do that. I think the deck so far doesn't look like it's lacking in any department, so I'd like to add a really good card to it if possible. Okay, this hand is kind of poopy. Alright, see what we can do here. Here we want to defend more. That's going to take off the artifact, so we're still going to be taking 10. Okay, just have to do that. Don't love it, but it is what it is. Full block. Alright, so now there's a weak on there. 9 damage is what we're looking at. I think we have kind of no choice but to start here. We get rewarded, and it is dead. Ooh, nice acrobatics here. Oh, see, I'd take these 2 cards right here, Hidden Daggers and Acrobatics. Hidden Daggers for 0 is just so strong when you're picking up a lot of Sly cards. Happy Flower was a nice... I rolled 2 chests off those events is pretty crazy. Now I do feel like resting is appropriate. As we take on the Ceremonial Beast. Okay. Choose a card in your hand. It's free to play this combat. So what do we want to make free? Usually the Dagger Throw is a pretty good run for that. It's only saving me 1. But I think we're consistent enough with the Sly triggers that we're okay with that. If I dashed my opening hand, I would have easily made a dash. Free dash seems crazy. Do we need 2 acrobatics here in the hope to draw Ricochet? Seems unlikely, and our deck is currently full of block, and next turn it's gonna increase, and then it's gonna attack. Do we want a Strength Potion? I should have probably thought about that ahead of time. Probably yes, because we're going to deal a lot of nickel and dimey damage. Strike, and I think we'll just dash. 20. Survivor, the Ricochet. Defend, and then I'll just pass here. 8 more damage. It needs to go to 160 to stun, so... So right now we're 17 damage off. Seems likely we can stun next turn, and that's 2 more block from a Cloak Clasp if we do that now. Next turn we also, I think, get the Happy Flower trigger? Yes. So, this is pretty good for us. Let's just go ahead and weaken. We get to 160, so we need 22 damage. Did lose out on 1 energy there, but we did a lot of damage, as much damage as we reasonably could do. Fantastic. Okay, we're moving and grooving. Now the ringing means we only get to play 1 card, but we drew dash, so fantastic, 1 card to play. And the Cloak Clasp obviously coming in clutch here for a full block. I like where we're at here. Weaken. I think we'll just Ricochet. Strike plus. Do I want to defend? 33 minus 8, 25. 25, and there's a lot of damage in our hand, so I do think that it's worth taking the hit for what will be 13 damage here, because I think it's pretty trivial that we close this out on this turn. Fantastic. That was a pretty straightforward Ceremonial Beast. Happy about it. Appreciate y'all being here to see it. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Bullet Time. I don't think this is a good Bullet Time deck. Not a fan of Knives deck, but I'm not unhappy about a Shadow Step. That upgrades to 0. looking to probably take elites and upgrades on this fight as much as possible, which is sometimes counterintuitive. Let's take a look at what we have here. 1, 2. This merchant looks like it's in a good spot for us. I don't like that, so let's go back here and path that way. Then we have our choice of which direction to take this. I kind of like this direction more, even though we miss out on an elite. But then it's monster elite, which I don't like. I don't like taking a second merchant if I can help it. This is elite. And the only way to be on this path is taking a bunch of... Oh my god. There's a slobber knocker of a side there. Don't love it. So... Cross here. 1, 2, 3. It's like we go 1, 2, 3, right? Okay. Then we go here into an elite, but then this is a hard pull monster into an elite. Seems untenable. I think the first path we've hogged out is the correct path. So I think we're going to start there. None of the paths are like easy per se. The strikes aren't bad, but it plays kind of poorly with the cloak clasp. Exhaust top card of your draw pile and gain a strength is a little dicey. Energy is used. Yeah, I don't like the extinguishing at the end of Act 3 either. We have strike plus and 3 additional strikes, or we have the exhaust and gain a strength. We just have so many strong cards that I think that's kind of a trap, and I don't like the abilities that exhaust going into Act 3, because you start to develop your play patterns around that, and then you have to change gears very abruptly. So I guess we're just taking what I think is probably one of the weaker options there, but we'll see what we can do with it. Okay, acrobatics seems like it'll be a good start, but then we're almost assuredly dashing. That's interesting. Dash plus defend is take 1. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We still get to deal additional damage from the strikes. I don't love losing out on 2, but... Oh yeah, the cloak clasp saves us there. And we lose the acrobatics, as it were. So dagger throw, discarded defend, neutralize. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so it goes up, and now we have to hit it 5 times to stun it, which is on the trivial side, truthfully, with the card that we got. See if we can draw something better. We drew something significantly worse. Probably want to fortifier to save some damage. 16, so we're taking 7 there. Not our greatest day ever. Alright, so it unstuns. It's going to be looking to exit stage right, but we have enough damage in hand to take it down. We're definitely taking that back. Sometimes I look at the other card rewards first to see if I... Because sometimes I'll take a card that's kind of meh. It's like, you know, that card hasn't been performing that great. I don't mind it hanging on to that card. But that's the one it took was a really good one. Blur's interesting. I don't know if we want any of these. Blur being the most interesting, because at least if you get a dead hand, it's kind of the same thing I was talking about the dodge and roll, just a little bit stronger. So I guess we'll take that since I've been kind of passing on the dodge and rolls. Alright. Might have to pop an energy potion on this fight. I do like to get it up to enough block to be able to take care of this particular enemy. So I usually focus down this enemy. I do think we acrobatics. And we'd take 1 damage this way. It's not a full block, which I like against this guy because he stuns. But now he full block, and we got to deal a lot of damage on that turn. And now, of course, I have this ridiculously weird all defends hand. That's how the cookie crumbles. We only need to deal 13 here. Surprise. No. 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 We already have like multiple iterations of damage well covered with the ricochets, so I don't think that's correct. No. Don't think I'm in for a debt. Okay, divine some goodies. Oh, yeah, backflip. In for that. And 256 gold going into the merchant. Not the worst. 3 cards. Fisticuffs is cool if you can do like a strength build. You can do some dastardly stuff with it. Reflex might be good in this deck. Being able to just draw additional cards is always appreciated. We can card remove. Our card situation, we can't remove. We'd be just removing essentially a defend. Yeah, I think this is fine. So let's do 1, 2, 3. A card that we always play for 0, and then a couple of block cards seem pretty good. Can't pick up anything else, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, I like picking up more damage on something like Ricochet that deals damage over multiple attacks, so. And we can smith here. I think it's just got to be Shadow Step here. Just being able to 0, put that out is really good. We do not want the other merchant, so we'll go over here. Wow, we're just high rolling these events. This is nuts. 3 events have turned into treasure chests. It's really surprising. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just take this fire and continue upgrading. I think we're going to weirdly upgrade the neutralize here because the weak's really good for us. Okay. Low rolled this event. I cannot complain. I do think this looks like a dash into blur situation. We get to deal a lot of damage. We get to retain our block, and we get to double our damage output next turn, so we can focus on attacking. And we're full blocking already, which is excellent. Nope, nothing doing there. We could draw 3 cards, but that seems a little bit aggressive in the use of a potion. That takes care of that. It was very trivial. Another dash, a slice. I don't really think we want any of these. I'm pretty happy with the way the deck is balanced at the moment, and when you're drawing a lot of cards like this, you could really throw off and skew the balance. Okay. Full blocks. We are weakened for these attacks. Oof, just nothing. I think on this weakened turn, the block might be a little bit better, so I'm just going to Shadow Step. Oh, the discard hand. I forgot about that little detail. That's on me. Been a minute since I played with that one. Backflip, Blur Dash, huh? Dash into Blur. Into kill that. So this is going to wake up, I do believe, and this is stunned. So now I got double trouble and a very weak hand. I think no matter what, we're going to discard in cards, so let's do that. I think that'll work. There's a full block there. Acrobatics. Discard a Ricochet. We can dash. We can strike. We can neutralize the big guy for 2 turns. And Shadow Step. Okay, good. That was kind of our biggest bet, is that we got at least enough to kill the little one. So got a little lucky there for sure. 16. I think we can start with a backflip. I think being able to maximize our block is going to help us the most. Double damage next turn. Full block. Not the greatest. I think we want to pop the potion now because we just want to stave on. This is a lot of damage coming our way. And that's gone. Okay, fantastic. Another blur, another backflip plus, and then up my sleeve. Our biggest tension point is around energy as a resource. Backflip is good. I think we'll take it. It could end up we throw off the balance of damage output and defense with that play. Dash seems pretty good here. Okay, let's hit. 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 I think we can gamble here. Defend, defend, hit. Full block. 3 days into our discard pile. Alright, this looks like a survivor situation. Okay. That's dead. $43. We take 18 and roll the rest over. Not that that's that big of a deal against this particular enemy, because their attack pattern isn't that impressive. Liquid Memories. I think that's a little bit more solid than the... Yeah, probably than the oil, honestly. Weak Potion is not my favorite thing ever. Dagger Throw here is probably pretty good. Continuing to let us run through. Okay, Prism is not the easiest fight in the world. Backflip. Backflip. Survivor. Probably the Dagger Throw at this point. No, it should have been the defend. $24, looking at double damage this turn. 2 weak is nice. A lot of damage. Full block. Oofa doofa. good news is we do get to do this, and we have the cloak clasp. So, and rolling over, so you can see kind of how that all lined up pretty well for us. That's free. We can get rid of Survivor because we just don't need it. Do I want to backflip again? I think so. Okay, just a lot of strikes here. We don't have a blur, so I think that we're better off just doing this. Okay. A lot of shield. A lot of attack power. I think the Gamble's the weakest card in our hand. $22 block, so full block, hit, and a shadow step. Full block. And that will do it. Double your block this turn. I don't know if we're a flechettes deck. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of 23. The Shadow Melt's pretty drawing. Yeah. Colorless potion over weak potion going into the knowledge demon. Yeah, I think so. Here we can upgrade that Shadow Meld. Alright, this is a fairly weak hand. Let's see. The Hatchet's good. Shockwave pretty good as well. Yeah, let's Shockwave. That's a lot of weak and a lot of vulnerable. We basically can make it stay weak for the rest of this fight, which is nice. And yeah, it's not really doing much for us. Pretty weak. We'll take the Disintegration here. I think we can produce enough block generally for that to be good. It's almost a full block. Oh, you have to do that first. It's been a minute. Okay. That's okay. We didn't screw up in any real big way because we're full blocking. We didn't lose anything to blur. So definitely something to keep in mind. There's that weak stacking up for us. Looking to take 18 damage this turn. Okay. We take a little bit of damage here. This turn, okay. So let's just full block. This will help solve that. Oof, just not a lot of zeros. 21, yep, we're definitely blocking for full even if we discard our whole hand. Alright. We're not worried about that, so just discard the defend. Hands have been a little awkward. Okay, let's look at our discard pile. I'd like to get some more damage output if possible. Not much. It would just be like getting back a dagger throw. And that might be better next turn with all these ricochets in our hand. So I don't think that's correct. Yep. Full block for the damage. I think it's got to be Disintegration, and now we really have to try to ramp up our speed here. And now I do want a dagger throw back. Stack that weak back up. 5 or 8. We're on track to take a lot of damage at the end of every turn, so I want to stack that. Full blocked at that turn. Taking 18 here. See if we can run it. And 8, 21. $24 from the Cloak Clasp. Take a little bit of damage there. Stack Vulnerable. Strike. Ricochet. Blur. Cloak Clasp. I think we just have to hope to hit big damage here. That's what I think our best bet is. I'll just let the Cloak Clasp get us 1. Alright, this is it. I think we got him. Oof. It's a lot of racing, but we got there. Let's see. I don't think we want Nightmare. I don't necessarily know if we want Echoing Slash, because we're already so many ricochets, and we have a Shadow Meld that would need to be upgraded, like another Shadow Meld that would be upgraded. I think we're good here. We're looking for, like, Prepared, I think, is one of the big cards we would want. So let's look at what we're being offered, because I do think that's going to impact the pathing. Every 4 cards, draw a card. That's pretty good for our deck. Gain 7 block. Just at the start of your turn, gain 7 block is pretty nasty with some of the other stuff we have. And whenever you kill an elite, upgrade 4 cards. So our whole deck could be upgraded if we wanted to. And we are fighting Queen plus Test Subject, which is, I think, one of the more forgiving arrangements. Start of your turn, gain 7 block. It seems insane to me. Plus a Cloak Clasp, so at the end of turn we have it. Every 4 cards, draw a card, also plays super well with Cloak Clasp. Every 4 cards you play, draw a card. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best one for us. None of those would impact our pathing, of course. So let's just look at the generic best pathing for us. What are we looking to upgrade? Not a ton. Blur, Acrobatics, and 2 Dagger Throws are mostly what we're looking for. So our game plan is to not die. Strong Strategies. Let's see, is that the only merchant up either direction? Oddly enough, it's annoying how that worked. 1 elite is not the greatest. Miss Beth, let's go Fire, Elite, Fire. But no merchant at all, right? Correct. So I think the path we're on is the correct one. But then we no, because we hit this merchant, then this, then this. It's just so many events. And I feel like I've burned out all of my good event luck. But I don't know as though there's a better path for us here. So I think this is the way we go. Let's give her a shot. Alright. Every 4 cards we play. Let's start off with a backflip, because we have Blur. I think at this point, everything, we'll just roll over that way. We draw a card, it is a strike. So that gives us a little bit more damage output. So 29 free blocks, so we're already full blocked. Let's stack up some weak. I think here drawing some cards is smart. Ditch a defend because we don't need it. This will. Let's do this. Draws us a card. Sure. We really don't need all this block, but I'll take... If I had another blur there instead, that would have been sick. Okay. 18 attack this time. Survivor, blur, defend. So 8, 5 is 13, 18. So it's a full block. Strike. That's a little bit better. Okay, that helps a lot. Stack that weak. Okay, draw another strike is nice. I think we want to blur even though it's a little less block. We could have kept that to cloak clasp. I hate saying that on content. Cloak clasp. It's so hard to say. 24. Okay. We definitely could have full blocked there, but I had a suspicion we could kill, so might as well do that. None of this is really where we want to be, so we'll skip that. First event of the floor is a low roll. Let's neutralize this guy. So we're only taking 15, 21. I think we do want a shadow meld. Start to take down the shield here. I think we can afford this. Okay. Put a dagger throw here. We can dash on this fellow. Gives us 13 additional blocks. We're taking a little bit of damage that way. Okay. 29. 37 because of the cloak clasp. Look at me. I talk good. I think we're going to gamble this away. We could strike. I think that's probably worth it. I think now we gamble. We to re-roll, so that's nice. Fantastic. Get to neutralize this jerk. I think we're dagger throwing here. I think we can just ditch Ascender's Bane, even though we won't exhaust it that way. Strike. Strike. Defend. Blur. And I think just Survivor. I don't think this Knucklehead attacks us on the next rotation, so it's not that big of a deal. 15. Oh. 2 on the club. Right? There's Iron Club. Yeah. 3 on the club. Yes, a prepared is what I'm looking for. Okay. High rolled. Okay. It's 4 high rolls on the events. Crazy. Alright. What do we got here? Neutralize the back robot. Do this. No need to gamble here, and we just get a bunch from the clasp. Now do we want to calculate a gamble? I think we'll do this to start. I think just that. Draw some cards. Dagger throw. 19, so we're full blocking. Definitely full blocking. Cool. Killed that. Killed that. Taking no damage now. Double damage next turn. They are also dealing us a lot of damage. Let us backflip. Let us acrobatics. Okay. Right. Shadow meld. I think acrobatics is in order here. I don't think we're going to dagger throw, though it's possible. Let's take that out. I should have used a different strike because that was a plus. I didn't even realize it until I was letting go of the mouse. 8, and we're already blocking for 16. Oh, I should have looked at that, and I didn't. That was on me. Play a little bit tighter. Okay. 9 block is not a lot of block. And 41's a lot of damage to deal. $37, $47, 16. And 27, 16 and 27. It's close. $16 with the cloak clasp, so full block and 2 rollover, which is nice. That's crazy. $55 block. Death. I don't know as though we want any of these at this point. So skip that, take this event. Foul potions. We do hit a merchant coming up, so the foul potions are pretty good. Some more gold for us. We're in the market for smithing. I think we just want to do the prepared. Could use a couple more sly cards at this point, truthfully. Pen nib's great. Okay. Lots of money. Card rewards doesn't help us. That's probably good. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, that's good. No sly cards, and the rewards is crazy. Fisticuffs could be good in this deck. It's like a mini dash, basically. Yeah, I guess maybe we just clear a block or a defend. We have enough, I think, that just getting one like regular defend. You can't say we didn't spend our money efficiently. No. Okay, we're upgrading cards. So we can go Fire, Elite, Merchant, which is totally worthless. Fire, or we can continue on this path, which is a little bit more precarious. Kind of like just taking this path, even though it's a wasted Merchant. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think the extra damage is probably the best thing there. Our whole deck is basically upgraded. This guy is annoying. I was really hoping for Blur there. $76 block. If there was a Blur there, it would have been so sick. Pen nib. One off on the pen nib being spectacular. I think this dash is just going to end up doing more damage than just about anything else. Knock a little bit more artifact off. Okay. This would be a good time to find Blur, which is in the discard, it appears. That's a good find. I don't think we need the colorless potion yet. This is the big turn for this thing. $45. Dash deals 52. Take a little bit of damage. Maybe I want a colorless potion here. No. Yeah, nothing great here. The axe, obviously. Oh, the axe just kills. Fantastic. Nothing great. What am I talking about? I'll take this untouchable, though. All Book of 5 rings give us some health, so we don't have to heal at that fire. Pretty sick, Chubs. I don't think we'll be able to buy anything. Nope. Not even the on-sale Noxious Fumes. That's okay. We didn't have to play it as safely as I ended up playing it, it seems. Do I just want to strike plus? That's so weird. I think it's just the acrobatics, seeing more cards. The one thing I will say is we took a lot of Sly cards early, but just didn't see any other Sly cards, like Flick Flacks or anything. Just kind of nothing. Okay, let's prepare, because I see 2 Sly cards in my hand. Let's weaken this fellow. Let's backflip. Nice backflip. Let's draw 4, so let's make some room. I think this deck should be able to kill the queen through the amalgam because of the damage, the amount of block we just kind of gain through playing the game. This will be where are we at on pen nib? We might just be able to kill the amalgam through those little tiny hits like that. I think acrobatics is going to be more important here because I'm still looking for blur. Kind of nothing. Let's do plain Jane defend. Do I want to gamble for the blur? I 100% hit it. Strike. There's the blur. Fantastic. Strike. Do I think just max damage or max defend, or do I like damage? What's left in the deck? I don't like the Ascender's Bane would be the best thing to draw here. We'll just do this. Discard a defend. Lets me retain the gamble for a turn I really need it. Oh, that's bound. Defend, bound, and shadow step. Defend, shadow meld, shadow step. I did not say that right. This might be a good calculated gamble turn. Pen nib. That's on me. I should have paid attention to that. I was, and then I stopped. Okay. Once prepared, because I see an untouchable in my hand. Basic defend is not going to do much. Let's Survivor the Ricochet. Okay, then we'll play Blur, draw a card. Weaken, stacks. This is a Blur turn. I think it's worth this. Let's do this because we have a dash. We can just easily pitch. Okay. $106 block, and the rest rolls over. Okay, let's do this. Okay. I don't know if we want to blow the. So we could just like dash and then we could strike, dash, strike. Probably just correct. It's not great. Pen nib. Couldn't find the blur soon enough. Hold back for a second on that. 18, huh? I think I need to do this. I just pitch the two things we cannot play. I think it's got to just be the strike, weirdly enough. That was a little foolish of me. I think it's just this. Now let me ricochet. Nice. That worked out pretty well. Still full block, and we blur over 9. Cards we can't play. Strike. Okay, pen nib. Should I go for? I think it's just acro. Prepared is free, but it's half the cards. Yep, that's free. I wish there was a world I could discard this to something else, not this. But 46, huh? Okay, cloak clasp. This is the biggest hit we've taken yet. I think this is probably the play. Blocks, so we're full blocking the amalgam. We roll over 17 block. Okay, 33 block. That's a lot of damage. Maybe I should have attacked the amalgam to death, huh? He's gonna end up pegging me for 45. We can defend against 6. We can deal 6. 14 damage is just not a lot. It's a big hit. There's nothing there. I think here we just have to do this. Okay. 42 block. Prepare, get rid of those. Nothing good. Okay, I'll take strikes. Okay, 50. That's pretty bad. 75 damage. We have to deal 107. I think what we're gonna do is do ye olde scum save. Jump back into it real quick. If you're not familiar, if you make a mistake or an error during a run, you can essentially hit the Windows key, end the program, and then you can go back in and start the thing over. And I think we just have to try to kill, I'm not saying we have to focus kill the amalgam, but I think we need to focus more on it. So we'll try that again and see where we get. 19. Pretty free. We see 2. And definitely let me know in the comments what you think. If you're not into that kind of thing, it's like, hey, you screwed me over here. Let me know, because it's not the intent. I want to just make sure that, because it feels like a deck that could definitely go the distance, so I want to try to make sure I give it its due. So 14. We haven't found Blur yet. don't think we're going to find blur in time. There it is. Pretty good. Okay. That'll just let us roll over such a high amount of block. Okay. So this is hitting us for 14. I think this might be a good gamble hand. We could, I think I do want to play the blur though. Okay. Alright. So let's play this backflip first. Okay, let's prepared. Probably ditch these two cards. Stack up a little bit of that. Play this, like I said, a little bit differently than we were because we don't want this thing getting into where it's dealing 45 plus damage. Is really where things kind of went a little bit too far for us. I think we do have to play acro here. Okay. Blur seems good. Black backflip seems good. Okay. 21 block is a full block. Okay, this thing's 25. Again, I think we're looking for blur, but we're probably not gonna find it in time. Stripped off the shield there, so we'll take a full hit. Yeah, we can do there. So now it's where it's getting into the scary damage increments. So 9, 9. These are both bound. Oof. 9, 13 is 32. No, 23, 22. Oof. It's a rough one. Are we going to draw any cards? No. Pen nib hit. Hit. Didn't really help us, unfortunately. Bid ordering, so that's a rough hit to take. Are we backflipping? I think so. So we can't dash. We full block. One discard outlet. Alright, got lucky there. That takes care of that. Alright, so now this is going to start wailing on us for a ton of damage. Six times 5 is a lot more tenable. Oofa. Cloak clasp up to 31. Full block there. 22 coming in this time. Okay. Why can I not play this? Oh, I must have just played. I didn't realize I played a bound card. That's a mistake. I just must not have realized the animation must not have stuck out to my eyes. See, because this defend and this defend don't look that different to me at a glance, I guess, is what it is. Not trying to make excuses, just trying to identify an area I could improve. Oh, it stays bound even if you redraw. It's interesting. Okay. Big hit here. Have to draw what? 79, it's dealing 45. 6 and 32 is 38. 44, so that's not enough. 12, it's 44, right? Yeah. Alright. We did not get there, but we'll give it a shot on the next video. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Let me know what you've been playing. Let me know how your A10 runs have been going. Till next time, cast more spells.